Hey guys, welcome to my newest review here on Edar Gaming, doing Pokemon SoulSilver. I don't actually have a silver top. I mean, how cool would that be? A silver top. I've got grey on. So kind of like dark silver. I've got the dark silver top on, as it was. But guys, okay, sorry guys. Slight issues with the camera. I don't know, it just doesn't seem quite right. But anyway, we're going to be talking about Pokemon SoulSilver, the Generation 4 remake of the Generation 2 game. But I obviously played Pokemon Gold. Go check out that series and that review. I'll cover a lot of the main game things in that. This one's probably more focused on how I like the changes to it. But I want to say thank you for everybody who watched the series. Subscribe to the channel if you have not, because I think next time we're going to go do Pokemon Black and White. I think we're going on to the Gen 5 games. Yeah. I was just having to think, I was like counting, but I've just literally said Gen 4. But anyway. So, oh dear, it's not started well, has it? It has not started well. So this is my first Pokemon remake that I've ever played. I've not played the Gen 1 remakes. I have played Let's Go Pikachu, but I don't really count that. But I've never played any of the remakes, so I was quite excited, especially when everyone said this is like the best. This is going to be the pinnacle of remakes for Pokemon anyway. So how could it be better? How could there be a better one to start with? Though in fairness, maybe I should have started with the worst and found out the best after. But anywho, it is probably my favourite Pokemon game so far, and that includes the originals, like the original unremade ones. I love the Gen 2 games, like Pokemon Silver was my favourite. So obviously playing Pokemon SoulSilver was like, boom! Amazing. Probably because this game, I would say, improves on everything that's good in the Gen 2 games and fixes the things that aren't so good. So it is possibly the best remake as well. I just genuinely think I'm really worried about every other Pokemon game now just not living up to the example. I've still got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 generations to go through. Oh dear God. But we're gonna do something a little bit different, and we're gonna start with the story in this review. I know normally I do the gameplay and then do the story. But we're going to start with the story because obviously, like most Pokemon games, it's not that important, really. It's not really what everyone plays Pokemon for, is it? Let's be honest. So as far as I could tell, the game story is identical to the Gen 2 Pokemon when I was playing Pokemon Gold. Obviously, with the legendaries flipped, you know what I mean. So I would say it probably is the same. It isn't really extended in the slightest. There's a couple of things that are added, but they're not really proper story beats. Some of it's quality of life, some of it's just additional things to do, like extra side quests. So, you know, I was a little bit disappointed in that, I'd have to say. I kind of would have liked a bigger, more detailed story, but hey ho, that's what we got. I think the biggest change really is in your hometown. Is you have a friend, the little girl, might be a little boy if you play as a female character, I don't know, who has her Marill, and you see her a few times while you're in Johto, but then she kind of just disappears. I thought they were building up to have this other little rival, a bit like Wally in the Gen 3 games, who kind of is a little bit of a rival, but I thought that's who this would be, you know, but I don't think you ever battle her. Do you battle her? Maybe you battle her very early on with just a Marill. I can't remember. That's how much of an impression she made. She could have been really good, but no. It doesn't really add anything to the story. She gives you a couple little tips on where to go, but it's not like it's a proper open world game. It wasn't that hard to work out where to go, even though we even knew where I was going. So, I think really the changes are in Kanto. You know, some of the stuff falls more into the gameplay that we'll do in a little bit. But you meet Steven as soon as you get to Kanto, who gives you a Hoenn starter after you've beaten Red, but also allows you to know which of Latias and Latios you'll be able to catch. Yes, we will get into the legendaries in a bit. Don't worry about that. I will cover them. So yeah, that's probably the biggest thing, that, you know, you get to meet him and he sort of does anything. But again, it doesn't really add too much seeing Steven. It's just for the end. It like doesn't add anything to the Kanto storyline of the 8 gym leaders. Again, a little bit of a missed opportunity. I would say the only real noticeable thing is possibly the Team Rocket. They have more ranks. Before it's just Team Rocket Grunt. Now they have ranks and they have a leader. So obviously the person at Lake of Rage and then at Goldenrod Radio Tower, they have a rank and are obviously in charge. It adds a little bit, makes it a bit more likely, you know, having somebody in charge versus and the grunts, but it doesn't change how you battle them. It is just something a little bit different, I would say. But overall, yeah, look, I like the story. There's nothing wrong with the story. It's just quite simple. It's just a Pokemon story, you know. It's the Gen 2 story, so I don't really mind it that much. I'm just gonna say, if I'm nitpicking, they've added things and they could have made the story more, or they could have just built more things into the story, I would say. Maybe not change the story because, again, it's a Pokemon game. But there's just these other little hints. Maybe you could have done something with them. Please. Please. But no, you didn't. Anyway, we're going on to gameplay now, which is obviously the main, probably the bigger section of this review because of the changes from the Gen 2 to the Gen 4 remake. The biggest change is clearly the graphics. You know, let's be honest. Forget the fact it's on a different console. It's just better graphics. You know, the sprites are better and everything like that. You know, still slightly dated if you're looking at it now. Let's not lie. It was when was it made? 2010. So obviously it's still 15 years old graphics. So, you know, it's not super up to date, but it's a big change from the original Gen 2 games. And it's just more animation and things like that. So I liked it. I liked it because I don't think it needed to look like Scarlet and Violet and Scarlet, you know, sort of thing. It does feel to me like it was sort of a top-down remake of the original, where they kind of just gone, right, this is the original game. We're going to keep the original game. We're just going to build it back up with brand new graphics and put a few extra things in. It's kind of how I think it was for most of the first half. You're just doing the same sort of gym leader route with slightly stronger gym leaders, which did surprise me when I bumped into it. It was Falconer first, and you suddenly had a level 13 Pidgeotto, which I lost against. Got my ass kicked because I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting the same easy gym leaders, but they're boosting them up, which I'm gonna say I liked. It makes the game a little bit more challenging in Johto, but the main improvement for it is the fact that you have to maybe do a little bit of grinding for each gym, whereas in the original games you didn't. You could just wipe all the floor with them, and then you had to grind before the Elite Four when the wild Pokemon weren't strong enough. That used to do my head in. It really did wind me up. So this is better. There's a lot less grinding before the Elite Four. Obviously the Elite Four are stronger as well, which was good, but I just preferred it this way around. It seemed more like it was in the originals. So yeah. We'll probably talk... Actually, no. While we're talking about the gym leaders, let's cover this. Probably the biggest change, addition, let's say addition, the two biggest additions, and this is one, is the fact that you can re-battle the gym leaders. It's a bit fiddly. It's not once you've beaten all 8, you can just go back and battle them, or you go back at a certain time and battle them. There's like a side quest in it that I had to look up online because I found it really complicated. You have to go and speak to the gym leaders at certain times, specific day and a specific time, and sometimes you have to do things like Blues is the worst because you have to make a Pokemon really happy and have 7 massages of his sister who only massages for a certain hour a day. Oh, thank God I could change the time in the game so I could skip it a little bit and do it. But that was really annoying. And then you have to battle the gym leaders at a certain time of day as well. That's not so bad because once you've got their phone number, you're good to go. But the whole... I know they obviously did it because then you weren't just battling all 16 gym leaders and then done. You finish. You sort of had to come back every day of the week to do it. So I know why they were doing it. But, oh, I hated it. I really hated it. You at least get the Elite Four boosted as well. And oh my God. The battle against Lance. Oh my God, that outrage move. Oh, I could have killed him. I really could have killed him. I wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill him. And the point was I couldn't kill him. Oh my God, it was horrific. Go check out the Elite Four video of how I said absolute nightmare. But yeah, one thing they didn't improve, we'll come back to the other big thing they changed. But one thing they didn't is the wild Pokemon in Kanto has the same problem as it did in the original Gen 2 games. Now, there's more trainers, so you do get a bit more leveling anyway, but obviously the gym leaders are stronger. So they've added more of those, so at least there's that. But you can't train against wild Pokemon until basically you get to Mount Silver. That is ridiculous. Oh my God, you know when you just want to do levels. It also meant there's no real point catching wild Pokemon. There was some cool new ones there. And you got some of the Gen 3 Pokemon, the Ho and Go Pokemon. But, just like, why did they decide to do that? It's a pointless challenge. Because it's like, the challenge is like you can't really grind, but then you're getting battered and like, the challenge should have been boosting everyone's levels way higher, is really what the challenge should have been. Like you did with the gym leaders in Red. But yeah, oh my God. So there just wasn't any point in catching anything new. Talking about catching new things though. Actually, they've added the Safari Zone back into this game, but they've put it in Johto, like a whole new area that you'd never find in the Gen 2. And you meet the Safari guy and he invites you and you go and do it and you do these challenges. But you can catch a Lavatar. Like, when would it have been? I think it was before the 8th gym in Johto. You can have a Lavatar. So I had a Tyranitar. Well, I had a Pupitar. First time when I fought the Elite Four, I got kicked. So then I went and got myself a Tyranitar. Oh, it was amazing. So much better. Oh, yes. That, I really liked that change. Because otherwise you had to wait to Mount Silver. And you kind of then didn't really... I don't know. For me, in the original Gen 2 games, I never bothered training up Tyranitar unless I used a cheat device to get one at the start. Or Lavatar at the start. There wasn't much reason to go back because I never bothered doing catch 'em all. So yeah, whereas this, I actually get to have one. I was able to do it and I could have some rarish Pokemon all powered up, ready for the Elite Four. Kind of didn't help that much, but I was happy. I was happy about that. What else? I don't think there was a huge amount of other stuff, but the other big thing, the other big change or addition to the game is all the legendaries. So obviously in the Gen 2 game, you've got Ho-Oh, Lugia, my favourite, and the 3 legendary dogs. So you've got those in this game as well, but they've also slightly tweaked Suicune, still don't know how you pronounce it, don't come at me. They've made that dog's story like it is in Crystal. So you have a fixed encounter with it a few times, and then you have the fixed chance to catch it. So you should definitely be able to get one of the legendary dogs. I didn't come across the other two. That's what I was saving the Master Ball for. I didn't come across them. So I couldn't be able to, I can't be asked to catch them. But apart from that, in Kanto, the legendary birds are back. So I caught the 3 legendary birds. I think you have to have fought all 8 gym leaders to do it and have the opportunity to go fight Red to be able to get them. You also can catch Mewtwo. Oh, I love Mewtwo. I think Mewtwo, I know it's actually been overpowered by some Pokemon these days, but I just got the feels for Mewtwo. So yeah, you've got the Kanto legendaries, you've got the Johto legendaries, and then you've got the Hoenn legendaries as well. They've put Groudon and Kyogre in, version specific. So SoulSilver has Groudon, HeartGold has Kyogre. If you then get one traded, and I believe, so I think the rule, you can't do a cheat device to do it. It has to have been caught by using the orb. So I think you can get them from the Gen 3 games, I believe, because you would use an orb to get it. But really, you obviously want to get it from the HeartGold to SoulSilver. And if you do that, and you have both in your party, you can get Rayquaza. You can get Rayquaza! Well, there's no other way of getting it, unless you use a cheat device, obviously. Oak allows you to do that, but he also gives you a Kanto starter. And as I've said, Steven also gives you a Hoenn starter. There's loads of things just suddenly coming to my head. So yeah, you can get all the Hoenn legendaries, but you can actually also get the Sinnoh legendary. You can get a Sinnoh legendary. If you get an RKS from a Nintendo event, it doesn't work with a cheat one. and I'm not sure exactly. I think it has to be a Nintendo event, because you then go to the Ruins of Alph and you're able to pick one of the Dialga, Palika, and Giratina. And then if you get another Arceus, it has to be a different one. It always has to be like a Nintendo event. You can keep collecting them all, but it has to keep swapping. So that's quite cool. I like that, even though catching legendaries causes me so much stress. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. Especially Groudon when he kept doing rest. You know, when you're like, no, just stop doing rest. Oh my god. But I did catch it, so that was cool. Yeah, so, well, I mean, yeah, that gives you something to do. So lots of cool legendaries to do. But I think that was sort of probably about it. Additions and changes and things like that. You know, like I say, it's like a total bottom up from the top down remake. That, I don't think that makes any sense whatsoever. But you know, that's what I'm going for. It's not just like a remaster; it is a remake, even if it's sort of remade perfect, like for like, in a way. But I can probably see how all the other Pokemon remakes are not going to match up to this one, if I'm honest. I don't know. I feel like Fire Red and Leaf Green, because of the limits on technology, I feel like I'm not going to count those ones, but the later ones. So a Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I can't wait to do that one. And I've already seen Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I've seen somebody play it and it looks crap. But I'll play it for you guys. I'll do Shining Pearl because I did Diamond originally. But, you know, I think above everything else, really the only change I would have liked, things were annoying, but it's just boost the wild Pokemon in Kanto, please. That's all I wanted. I'm sure I can get a mod out there to do it, but that is what I wanted. But anyway, guys, what do you guys think? Have you played the remakes? Have you played the originals? I appreciate some people might have played the originals. Which did you prefer? Did you like the whole retro thing, or do you like these remakes? Do you think they're as good as I do? Let me know below. Subscribe to the channel if you have not, because obviously I gave you a little clue. The game we're going to go play next is Gen 5. I'm not sure whether to do black or white. Do let me know which is the better one. I'll probably do the black or white, like the first one, and then do the opposite colour for the second game, the sequel. So, yeah, that makes sense. But that's my view. I have my own views. You guys must have your own. Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you for more Edar Gaming soon. Cheers, guys.